What is the importance of nurturing relationships with your physician or health coach? This is part of a 14-part video series that explores how trauma, stress, and anxiety play a pivotal role in health recovery. Hi there, I'm Dr. Chanu Dasari. I'm a surgeon who specializes in reversing gut microbiome dysfunction and autoimmune inflammation. My technique for reversing symptoms in as little as 6 weeks has helped thousands of patients over the years and is called the Mind-Gut Immunity Method. And if you'd like to learn more, visit mgiclinic.com and request a discovery call. Now, many of you know my personal story. In my early 20s, I struggled with autoimmune disease and digestive dysfunction. And I was able to fix inflammation naturally using the same methods that I now use in my patients. But even after all these years, after my recovery from autoimmune disease and digestive dysfunction, I've still struggled with the anxiety and frustration. Why was I so sick? Why did I ignore the early signs? Why did I let stress take over? And more importantly, why did I deprioritize myself in these situations? These lingering questions were important ones for me to answer because they were at the heart of why I became sick in the first place. After working with thousands of patients over the years, I can tell you that the themes of trauma, stress, and anxiety keep popping up. So in the Mind-Gut Immunity Clinic, we've enlisted the help of a personal development coach to help create awareness for my clients to understand how anxiety, stress, and trauma play a pivotal role in autoimmune inflammation and digestive dysfunction. It's a mini personal development workshop, if you will, within the Mind-Gut Immunity Clinic that creates awareness around illness. Our clients work one-on-one with our coach, Virginia, who you'll see here today, to integrate new awareness and thought processes into recovery. I can tell you from personally working with Virginia over the years that this is a much needed addition to the Mind-Gut Immunity Academy. And from the positive feedback I've received from my patients, I know that this is something that can help others in their healing journeys. In this video, we'll be talking about the importance of cultivating a very strong relationship with your health coach and your physician. You know, Virginia, when I work with a new client, I have to earn their trust every single time. It doesn't matter if I've had 1,000 success stories. It doesn't matter if they know a friend or two that have already been fixed of their autoimmune disease or their digestive dysfunction. When people first start out in our program, working with me, working with you, there's always that a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of doubt, because they don't really, this could just end up being like any other thing that they do, right? Not getting a whole lot of answers, not getting anywhere. And they tend to be, there tends to be an expectation that that's what it ends up being, right? And I always have to earn everybody's trust. I even tell them, hey, look, you probably won't trust me until you start to see actual changes in your life. And that may take a couple of weeks, but I'm here and willing to earn that trust every single time.
I'm in the same position with coaching. It's all about trust, and it's about working with my clients, because the only way to progress and go deeper is through trust and curiosity and fun, and neither of us worrying about being perfect. So this is such a safe zone. And sometimes they call it throw spaghetti against the wall till we find that topic that hits home. And maybe in the moment you're not aware of it, but through trust and collaboration, we're going to get to that point and hopefully do it quickly and with some fun, and always honoring the client, knowing they have the answer.
I always know that it will be a tough client when on day one they're like trying to poke holes into the protocol or try to like ask the same question just to see if they catch me saying the same thing or something slightly different, right? And I know where that's coming from. That's coming from a place of hurt. It's coming from a place of lack of trust, I would say. Because, you know, at some point you're almost like trying to vet, trying to figure out, hey, are these people real? Do they actually know what they're talking about? Do they have my own best interests at heart? These are some really important in people that are sick, that have been suffering with autoimmune disease or digestive dysfunction for long periods of time. Guess what? They have a lot of people involved in their care over the years that have let them down. Right. So that is the track record. That is what they're coming in with with, and I'm never like the first doctor anybody calls. I'm usually like the fifth, sixth, 10th doctor. Like I'm a surgeon, for God's sake. By the time you call a surgeon to handle a problem, usually it's pretty bad. Usually they've failed all their biologics, they've failed all their immunomodulators, they've failed all the tests with their GI or the neurologist or the rheumatologist, whatever the case may be. And I see those people, and I have to earn their trust. I have to earn their trust in a very short period of time.
I do as well, because coaching can be very disruptive, different than therapy where they have guidelines to follow and they're talking about the past. In order for coaching to be successful, we have to trust each other so we can disrupt in a fun way a pattern of thinking that isn't working any longer, and creating a safe place to do that. So I think it's crucial for the client to come in open and trusting, and for the practitioner, myself as a coach, to know that it is a safe place for them to come and be themselves, speak their truth without judgment, so that we can get to the bottom of what is going on.
And I'll share with you my answer to this next question. But how do you nurture these relationships?
Well, time is important. And I think honesty and integrity and transparency, that's how I work. And I'm always transparent in my conversation. And I am happy to admit when something may or may not be wrong. So I think putting your ego in your pocket and having it really be about curiosity, not solutions or being right or wrong.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you my answer. My answer is dependability, right? Because when people are coming to me, they're trying to like size me up. They're trying to figure out like, hey, is this guy for real? Does he really mean what he's saying? He says, is he really going to fix my problem? And so in the beginning, when when I haven't yet earned that trust, when we're still in the get to know you phase, so to speak, I get peppered with questions, right? And I'll answer those questions right away. Sometimes I get 300 text messages in a week. And to just see them, when they see somebody answering their text messages or answering their phone calls or getting on a Zoom call with them, or seeing them in person day in, day out, no matter how crazy bizarre their question is, even if they're repeating the same question multiple times just to see if they're getting the right answer, I think there's a confidence that slowly builds, right? Before you even see the eventual result, right? You at least know, hey, this is somebody that, that no matter what I throw at him, he not only has an answer, but it's a thoughtful one. He's not writing off what I have to say. He's got a team of people that he works with that also do the same thing, right? I mean, we've got like a full-time meal prep food coach, right? We got, an awareness coach. We have all these modules, we have all these resources we throw at folks so that they're successful. And and that goes a long way. And I would agree with you. I think honesty, I think integrity, I think being curious, I think not being ego driven, being okay with not having all the answers right away. I think these are also key to establishing a very healthy relationship.
Well, and also I think, we provide faith and patience that they don't yet have, because they are experiencing pain, and what we have seen results. So we're here for them to lean on us when they can't fully 100% trust yet, that, we're going to be there for them through the process when it is difficult.
I do like saying "I told you so," though. Like, and this is just a me thing, right? Like, they get through. It's really funny. Like, I was just having this conversation with one of the other coaches. I said, it's funny if you look at like how many questions people have. You take the most like, bent out of shape person that's like has all these questions. It's usually like they'll ask a lot of these questions in the first few weeks.
Yeah.
And then something changes around like week 2, week 3, and I really think it's that their condition gets better, right?
Mhm.
Their condition starts to get better, and then they're like, huh, maybe these guys know what they're doing. You know,
Exactly.
maybe I just need to have faith in what they're doing instead of constantly questioning or finding a problem with it. And it's funny, right? Like I even tell people if you're the person that's texting me 300 times a week that first week, I guarantee that a month 2, month 3, month 4, whatever the case, however long we work together, you will be the least amount of trouble for me because you've already gotten all your questions answered. And
Yeah.
then you have that much more confidence in what's going on because you see the results. And, those folks end up being like my most loyal and, successful clients, I would say.
My end of the coaching is a little bit different. They actually come in as clams, and it takes time to open up to get referral. So they first want to know that they can trust me before they start divulging, at least some of them, you know.
Yeah.
So on either end, we've got to cover. We got the science on your end, answering all the questions, and then, you know, the patience, the safety on my end, so that people can be ready to open up when you know, when it's appropriate.
Going in depth on topics such as these allow us to achieve uncommon healing. We already do a good job at solving gut microbiome dysfunction at the root of inflammation, and we make strides in trying to unwind the perspectives and behaviors that create illness in the first place. And that's how we achieve a lasting recovery. Now remember, we've got 13 other videos on similar topics, so if you found this conversation useful, be sure to check out the other videos. Also share these videos with someone you know who's struggling with a health condition and doesn't know where to start. Sometimes just starting the discussion with them can help them change their perspective on illness. Lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm Dr. Chanu Dasari with the Mind Gut Immunity Clinic, and I'll see you next time.